For 3,000 years, the galaxy had lived in peace. No wars, no battles, no fear, only silence among the stars. Humanity had changed. The soldiers of Earth had become builders, thinkers, dreamers. The great fleets that once ruled the void now slept under the dust of forgotten shipyards. Space was quiet, too quiet. Then, one day the silence broke. A strange signal echoed across the solar system, sharp, cold, and full of threat. It wasn't human. The code carried an ancient name. The Vorthon Empire. They had returned. Their message was simple: surrender Earth, or be erased. Inside the moon-base Solgard, Admiral Rian stood before a giant screen. His gray eyes stared at the alien message as the words repeated again and again. Around him, young officers froze, unsure what to say. For centuries, no one had seen a real war. Rian's voice broke the silence. They think we have forgotten who we are. He turned toward the dark side of the moon, where old metal giants rested beneath layers of dust. The ancient human warships, silent for thousands of years, waited in the shadows. Outside, the stars shimmered faintly, as if warning the galaxy that something powerful was about to awaken. One by one, hidden lights began to glow across the black surface of the moon. Systems powered up, reactors hummed, forgotten codes unlocked. The sleeping fleets of Earth were opening their eyes, and for the first time in 3,000 years the stars heard a sound they had long forgotten. The deep, rising growl of human war machines preparing for battle. The peace was over. Humanity had awakened. The silence of space shattered as old systems began to breathe again. Deep under the moon's surface, vast hangars filled with light. Dust fell from sleeping ships, machines built by ancestors who once ruled the stars. Massive doors opened slowly, revealing the forgotten fleet of Earth. The names on their hulls glowed again: Valiant Dawn, Iron Spear, Nova Child. Each ship carried history, and each was ready to fight once more. Across Mars, buried factories came alive. Their engines roared after thousands of years of rest. Robots moved, assembling weapons older than any living memory. The red planet shook with power. In the command center, Admiral Ryan watched as blue lights spread through the solar map. One by one, defense satellites and orbital cannons came online. He gave a single order: activate Protocol Iron Dawn. The old AIs recognized his voice. They had waited centuries for that command. Protocol confirmed, they replied, their tones cold and steady. Around Jupiter, human drones scanned deep space. They found something: alien ships, hundreds of them, moving fast. The Vorthon Empire had already entered the system. The first attack came without warning. A plasma strike hit one of Saturn's moons, leaving a burning scar across the ice. But before the echo of destruction faded, a human railgun fired back from orbit. The beam cut through darkness like a lightning blade. The alien ship exploded into light and silence. Humanity had spoken. For 3,000 years they had promised peace. But now, the giants had awakened, and the universe would remember their strength. Far beyond Neptune's orbit, the dark void shimmered as the Vorthon flagship entered human space. It was a monster, miles long, black as night, and surrounded by glowing red escort ships. The Vorthon believed no one could stand against them. Inside the alien command deck, Lord Keltar smiled. "The humans are still builders, not warriors," he said, his voice full of pride. "This will be easy." But deep in space, something was watching them. Hidden under Neptune's shadow floated the human dreadnought Valiant Dawn. Its sensors locked on the alien fleet, silent and patient like a hunting wolf. In the control room, Admiral Ryan gave the signal. Begin the strike. No speeches. No warnings. Only action. A single railgun round, the size of a shuttle, tore through the dark. It traveled faster than light itself, silent, invisible until it hit the Vorthon cruiser. The explosion was blinding. The shockwave shattered nearby asteroids. Alien ships spun out of control, their shields cracking under the impact. Panic spread through the Vorthon fleet. Their perfect formation broke. "Impossible," Keltar shouted. Their technology was lost, but humanity had never lost it. They had simply hidden it. Within minutes, hundreds of human warships uncloaked across the system. Engines burned bright. Guns aimed. Target locks flared red. Admiral Ryan's calm voice echoed across every human channel. Earth command to all fleets. The time for silence is over. Every human ship fired at once. The sky itself seemed to break apart under the light. The galaxy's peace had ended. The fire had returned, and humanity was just getting started. The space around Neptune burned like a dying star. Pieces of alien ships drifted silently, glowing in the cold dark. Yet the war was far from over. The Vorthon fleet, though damaged, regrouped fast. Dozens of warships formed a wall of plasma and fire. Their weapons glowed red, ready to erase everything human. Admiral Ryan stood on the bridge of the Valiant Dawn, calm and focused. The reflection of burning ships danced in his eyes. Around him, officers worked in silence. They knew what was coming. "They'll strike again," said Commander Alara softly. "Let them," Ryan replied. "We fight in shadows." At his command, half of the human fleet vanished from radar. Cloaking fields shimmered across the blackness. The shadows of steel. A secret division of stealth warships moved silently into position. Minutes passed. The aliens advanced, firing into the empty void, their shots hitting nothing. Then from behind them the dark exploded. The hidden human ships attacked at once. Precision strikes that tore through the Vorthon engines and cores. One by one, alien vessels lost power and drifted helplessly. Inside his flagship, Lord Keltar watched in disbelief as his fleet burned. "They fight like ghosts," he roared. On Earth, people watched the battle through silent transmissions. Children, elders, workers, all stood together, proud, unafraid. Humanity had returned to the stars not as conquerors, but as defenders of peace. As the last alien ship exploded, Admiral Ryan whispered, "Remember this day. We are still here." But even as the smoke cleared, new signals appeared on the edge of human space. The Vorthons were calling for reinforcements. The real war was only beginning. Across the galaxy, word of Earth's victory spread like wildfire. Civilizations that once ignored humanity now whispered in fear and respect. For the first time in 3,000 years, the stars remembered the name human. But the Vorthon Empire was far from finished. Humiliated and enraged, they gathered their full armada, thousands of ships, each one armed for vengeance. Their emperor himself swore an oath, Earth will burn and their sun will set forever. In the command hall of Valiant Dawn, Admiral Ryan stood before a holographic map glowing with red enemy signals. The scale of the invasion was beyond imagination. "They're coming with everything they have," said Commander Alara. "Good," Ryan replied. "So will we." Every human colony, every shipyard, and every orbital station answered the call. On Mars, giant cannons rose from beneath the soil. On the Moon, defense platforms turned toward the stars. Even forgotten outposts from centuries ago lit up again, sending one final message. For Earth. For all of us. As the fleet assembled, Ryan looked out at the blue glow of Earth below. For a moment he saw children playing, oceans shining, cities alive. The reason humanity fought. Then, the alarm sounded. The alien armada had arrived. The darkness outside was filled with red light and roaring engines. Ryan raised his hand. "This is our reckoning," he said quietly. "Make every shot count." Thousands of human warships moved forward in perfect silence. Their engines flared like stars being born. The final battle had begun. The stars burned with war. Human and Vorthon fleets clashed in a storm of light and fire. Space itself seemed to tremble. Explosions painted the void in red and gold. Thousands of ships fought, vanished, and burned in silence. At the center of it all stood the human dreadnought Valiant Dawn. Its guns roared like thunder, tearing through alien lines. Every shot carried the rage and pride of a species that refused to die. The Vorthon Emperor's flagship, a monstrous, Ship the size of a city fired a beam that split through entire formations. Dozens of human ships fell. For a moment, it looked as if the light of Earth would fade forever. But Admiral Ryan did not retreat. "We are humanity," he said quietly. "We don't run, we rise." He ordered the final maneuver, Operation Fire and Steel. Human fleets surrounded the Emperor's flagship from all sides. AI drones ignited, engines overloaded, and fusion cores burned brighter than suns. The void lit up with one final, blinding explosion. The shockwave spread across the system, silencing every alien signal. When the light faded, the Vorthon fleet was gone. Only silence remained, and Earth's ship still stood. Inside the command deck, Ryan looked at the stars. "Peace restored," he whispered. Across the galaxy, the message spread. The humans have awakened. Other civilizations watched with awe and fear. They now knew the truth. Humanity might rest, but it never forgets how to fight. The long peace had ended with fire, and from the ashes, the legend of mankind was reborn.